Welcome to our second game of the day in Group J here in Buriram. And the two group winners from match day one go head-to-head. It should be a fascinating first ever AFC Champions League meeting between Cerezo, Osaka from Japan and Hong Kong's Kitchee SC. Well, as we said, these sides got their campaign off to a winning start 3 days ago. So they sit top of the table, neck and neck. Same goal difference as well at the moment. Port SC picked up their first 3 points earlier with a victory over Guangzhou, who remain rock bottom, having lost their opening 2 matches. The young Guangzhou side that's been sent over for this tournament, just finding conditions a little tough at the moment. It was up in the mid 30 degrees Celsius earlier. It has dropped by about 5 or 6 degrees or so. So just under 30 degrees, but the humidity has risen to 70%. We had that massive downpour here the other night for the second match. It was monsoon conditions for much of the 90 minutes. Nice blue skies around earlier on today, though. Hopefully the weather will stay fit for the next couple of hours or so. Well, the Thunder Castle Stadium, it's affectionately known, the home of Buriram FC. First ever meeting, as we say, between these two teams. It's the first time Cerezo Osaka have actually met a team from Hong Kong. Pink very much in evidence today. Cerezo Osaka will be playing in their usual pink shirts. And as you can say, Kitchee in white with the pink numbers. Very colourful sight it will be as well. Cerezo have never won their opening 2 games in an AFC Champions League campaign. They did dominate the game against Guangzhou, but they had to rely on 2 corners to bring them their 2 goals. Hiroaki Okuna and Thiago getting the second. There's some of the Cerezo squad who aren't featuring today. There are squads of 30 here, 10 players listed on the bench, 5 substitutes are allowed, so it means that 9 players don't get to feature in the match days. I'm sure they will get a chance, though, with 6 games coming in very quick succession. Squad rotation will be the key, I'm sure, for both coaches, Levi Kulpi and Chu-Chi Kwong. Substitutes have to sit a long way from the action these days. Up in the stands. Cerezo haven't had the best of starts in the J-League this season. They're 10th in the table. 6 wins from 18 games so far. But they can put the league form behind them just for a moment and worry about this competition. Have dropped down the table a couple of places, actually. They're now down in 12th place because the J-League is still going on at the moment while Cerezo Osaka are playing here. They will have a bit of catching up to do when they return to Japan. We're supposed to play Consadole Sapporo last Wednesday. That, of course, was postponed because they were here in Thailand. FC Tokyo, one of the sides to take advantage. They won their game in midweek, so they moved above Cerezo Osaka in the table. Kitchee come here as the Hong Kong champions. They beat Eastern by 3 points. 11 wins from 17 matches across the course of the season. They played exceptionally well. Got through to the Sapling Cup semi-finals, but were beaten by the same team, Eastern, by a single goal. We'll give you the team news in a while, but both coaches have opted to go with fairly settled lineups today. So you'll find with this heat and humidity that both coaches will opt to use probably their 5 substitutes during the course of the match. Usually from about an hour onwards we tend to see the substitutions, although we have seen a couple of multiple changes at half-time. Of course, the changes have to be made in 3 windows plus half-time. You can always throw a little bit of a spanner in the works if you get a few injuries along the way and have to make changes when you don't expect it. Here come the 2 teams then. Kitchee on the left-hand side, Cerezo in their familiar pink shirts with the dark blue shorts. Very much the symbol of the cherry blossom that is prominent in the Osaka region in Japan. Very vivid colours, wonderful sight when that is in season. And for those who don't know, Cerezo, Spanish for cherry tree, so it all links into the geography of where they're from. Of course, we have got Gamba, Osaka, their big city rivals in the AFC Champions League as well. Clubs from the same association are kept apart in the group stages. And of course, in the round of 16, it will be 4 matches from the east, 4 matches from the west before they come together in the quarter-finals. Let's take a look at the 2 teams for today's match. Cerezo make just the 1 change from the team that beat Gwangju. Toshijuka Takagi picked up a knock in the first match, so he drops out. Free kick expert Motohiko Nakajima starts, having played a quarter of the last match coming off the bench. Both goals came from set pieces. Akuno and Thiago getting on the score sheet. They'll pose the aerial threat, along with striker Adam Taggart. Referees Kamis Mohamed Al-Mari from Qatar was in charge of Korea's recent World Cup qualifying win over Lebanon a little earlier on this month, and took charge of 3 games in Doha in last season's centralised group stages and knockout stages. We mentioned settled lineups. Kitchee kept the same 11 that started against Port FC. The back 4 and keeper looked solid in that opening match. They might be more tested today, though. Roberto in midfield scored the opening goal in that game. Clayton and Damjanovic will be up front. If Damjanovic scores today, he'll become the AFC Champions League's all-time top scorer, overtaking Korea's Lee Dong-guk. Here are the substitutes. Alex Akande there, wearing 88 for Kitchee, has a slight back problem, not fit enough to start, but is available off the bench should he be required. There's Adam Taggart. The big aerial presence, they've got a good aerial threat. And there's the man who could become a record breaker today. His goal in the last match equalled the 37-goal record set by the Korean. He's now scored goals in the AFC Champions League for 4 different clubs, Dejan Damjanovic. And with 5 games to go, he has his sights very much set on the record. It will be Cerezo Osaka to get us underway then. Clash of the top 2 in Group J, both winning their opening match. Cerezo in the pink shirts will kick from left to right in the first half. Kitchee all in white today. No spectators, but I'm sure we'll have a match to savour over the next 90 minutes or so. So the first ever meeting between these 2 sides in the AFC Champions League. Kitchee's win over Port in their first game is the first time they've scored more than once in the competition. Japanese sides have always edged meetings with Hong Kong. Cerezo have never played a Hong Kong team before, but the last time a Japanese side was beaten by a team from Hong Kong, it was Kitchee beating Kashiwa Reysol back in March 2018 by a single goal. There's the Brazilian coach, Levi Kulpi, in charge for the 4th time. Loves to come back to Cerezo Osaka. Led them to the quarter-finals previously. 10 years ago, that was. He led them to the last 8. Got a good, strong squad here, Cerezo Osaka, as well. Here's Cancella. Riku. Ayumi deep inside his own half. Sakamoto. Overlap for Riku. It's a good overlap as well. Opted for the low cross. Stabbed away by Huang, the captain. Okuno. Sakamoto. Just caught back on his heels a little bit there. Riku. That'll be a comfortable one to roll over the line. And Paulo Cesar, the Brazilian-born goalkeeper, will take the goal kick. And there's Kitchee coach Chi Kwong. Born in Hong Kong, played for CB and Tsingtao during his playing days. He's actually officially caretaker coach at the moment. Named as caretaker after Blas Sliskovic stepped down. Will step up to coach the team for the time being. Both the coaches in their 60s, 60 years of age. Chi Kwong, his opposite number, Levi Kulpi, 68. Both very experienced coaches. Kulpi was a centre-back during his playing days. Sakamoto trying to buy himself a little bit of space. Out off Albuena. Crossed by Sakamoto. Cerezo have started going in the right direction. They're keeping the ball inside the Kitchee half in the opening minutes. Thiago got that bullet header that went in off the underside of the bar. It was unlucky for Chang, the Guangzhou goalkeeper, who just got a fingertip to it. Based in Osaka in western Japan. Actually formed in 1957, Cerezo. They were originally known as Yanmar Diesel. Incorporated Osaka FC in 1993, and then current name has been in effect for around about 3 years or so now. Thiago. Riku. The dangerous looking ball in. Helio's header. Nodded off by Dejan. First chance really for Kitchee to try and get forward here with Clayton. Harakawa staying with him. Clayton opted to release that one early. It'll drop behind. Jin Hyun in goal kept his eye it all the way, but it just overhit slightly by Clayton. Played in the lower leagues in Brazil all his career before moving to Hong Kong. 34-year-old Clayton. It's a good balance of homegrown players and foreigners that they've got, Kitchee. Some players that were born outside the country that are officially Hong Kong residents by parentage. or by the fact that they've just earned residency because they've lived in Hong Kong for so long. 4 foreigners allowed in the starting lineup for this competition. Maybe some of the coaches have to be a little bit selective with their selections of foreigners. Be a foul by Clayton. It was Akuno, the man that was fouled. Got that opening goal after a quarter of an hour against Guangzhou in the opening match. It's a frustrating day, really, for Cerezo Osaka, that first match. They scored after a quarter of an hour. It took them until the 69th minute to get a second. Despite Guangzhou's youthful side, they showed great resilience in keeping Levi Kulpe's side at bay. That was just their second win in 11 games, if you take into account their J-League form, which hadn't seen them win since mid-April when they beat Urawa Reds. Here's Thiago. Some assured passing at the moment from the Japanese. Taggart. Wide by Kiyotake. Okuno. Aimed in towards Taggart once again. Just unable to get the ball clear at the moment. Clayton, just to relieve a little bit of pressure now to Helio. Roberto's throw. Roberto on the score sheet for Kitchee in the first game. Was his debut in the last match, Roberto, and he scored, making just a second appearance today, joined in February. Foul on Dejan, born in Bosnia, played international football for Montenegro. He's big international, plus was scoring for Montenegro in a 2014 World Cup qualifier against England at Wembley in a 1-1 draw. Dejan Demjanovic. Ayumi. Thiago playing outside his native South America for the first time. Sakamoto. He's probably crying out to be lifted over rather than played along the deck there from Riku, but might give Orr a chance to break away. Just stood his ground, Riku. Just blocking off Matt Orr. Cerezo should have played Melbourne City FC in a playoff, but the Australian side's all opting to withdraw for the competition due to the problems with travel and COVID issues. Meant that they went straight into the group stage for their 4th appearance. Their best showing 2011. They reached the quarter-finals before losing out to Jeonbuk Hyundai from Korea. Kitchee were AFC Cup semi-finalists 7 years ago. Did progress beyond the group stage in their only other appearance back in 2018 in the Champions League. Thiago. Ayumi. Riku. Just out of the reach of Marahashi. Marahashi does like to press forward. You could see when the ball was back with Thiago, he was pushed right up midway inside the Kitchee half, the left back. Be an aerial threat from set pieces, Cerezo, as they were in the first game. Sakamoto's header. Well played by Taggart. Sakamoto. Riku. Ayumi. Harakawa. Again, Marahashi playing high up the field, trying to find Motohiko, who hasn't touched the ball as yet. Thiago. Okuno. Taggart. Patientness, Sakamoto. Stringing plenty of passes together at the moment. Cerezo, Osaka, very good technically. Riku out wide to Kiyotake. That would be a corner. And this is where they threatened in the first game. Ricky Harakawa with the two corners that led to the two goals. Paolo will be mindful. And it's Ricky Harakawa that will take these once the referee has halted the obligatory pushing and shoving. Just come to the end of his first season at the club, Harakawa. Played 10 games in the J-League. Out by Paolo. Motohiko back in again, but high over the top. Got a good hand on that, the goalkeeper, to get it away from danger. You mentioned the aerial threat that Cerezo, Osaka will pose. Mentioned it's his fourth spell, Levi Kulpi, in charge of Cerezo, Osaka. He had 5 spells in charge of Atletico Mineiro back in Brazil. Last of those in the 2018-19 season. 5 different spells as manager. Don't think you'd find that in many other countries in the world. A change of ball here, I think. They've spent a lot of time without the ball in the opening quarter of an hour, Kitchee. Just absorbing the pressure from Cerezo, Osaka. Dejan. Off Thiago. Could be a good battle between those two. The Brazilian and the Serbian. It's quite a complicated upbringing when you look at Dejan Damjanovic. You mentioned him a moment or so ago. He's born in Mostar in Bosnia-Herzegovina, which was then part of Yugoslavia back in the 1980s. Moved to Serbia, then on to Belgrade. Played international football for Montenegro. Very successfully as well. 17 goals in the league last season for Dejan. Free kick to Kitchee. Clayton will take this. It's just too high for Helio, who'd push forward. Just see Dejan there, just pulling away from his man. He was in a little bit of space. You could see what the intention was, probably for Helio to knock that one back across the box. Just a little bit over hit on the free kick. Taggart. Set up beautifully for Adam Taggart. Well, from one number 9 taking the spotlight at the other end to Taggart having an effort on goal. One end to the other, sat up perfectly, but he couldn't get the dip on it. Maybe caught it just a little bit too soon. Paolo would have had it covered. It was straight at the goalkeeper, but nevertheless, it was a good run by Taggart off the ball. It's only his 5th game for Cerezo Osaka. Had a couple of seasons at Suwon Blue Wings, Korea. Okuno. It's all Cerezo Osaka at the moment. Over the top, looking for the run of Sakamoto. Just beats him through to the goalkeeper. Just over 80% possession at the moment for the Japanese in the early stages. Rocky Okuno was booked a little earlier on, by the way. First yellow card of the game. That's a short pass. Taggart trying to get on the end of it. He was just blocked off by Park, who knew exactly what he was doing. It's a poor pass, and Taggart was onto it. Park Yun-hyun able to block off his run, though. The referee saw nothing wrong with it. Cancella's throw. Claiming a foul, Kitchee, which has not been given by the Qatari referee. That looked like a foul throw from Riku. Seen a couple of those. They don't very often get picked up at this level, foul throws. We saw one in the game earlier on given by the referee. That was a clear foul throw for Riku. The ball didn't go back over his head. Got away with that one. Okuno. He's caught late. Raul Baena. Doesn't really need to make the tackle because the ball, I think, had already gone. And he's late. And from Malaga. Okuno didn't take too kindly to that. Great goal he scored against Guangzhou, angled the ball well away from the goalkeeper. He was actually falling backwards slightly when he made the header at Kuno. Just lacking a little in the final third at the moment, the Japanese. How often have we said that about teams so far in this early stage of the competition? Foul on Dejan. Quick to prove to the referee that it was actually a foul, that contact had been made. It was a high foot up from Ayumi. Approaching the midway point of the first half already. Cerezo, Osaka dominating possession, but what can Kitchee do with this free kick? It's no good having all the ball if you don't score goals. Jin Hyun has been a virtual spectator so far. Clayton it will be to try and conjure something up from this free kick. Floated in into a crowd. Nobody got a touch on it. It almost fell for Mator. It's good defending in the end. I think Ayumi was that maybe just got a header on that. Does deliver a good free kick, Clayton. I'm looking forward to seeing Motohiko at the other end when Cerezo, Osaka do get a free kick around the edge of the penalty area. Can take them with either his left or his right foot. The coach said he's never seen anything like it in training. Okuno. Clayton. Good ball. Ralbaena. Just had to check back under pressure from Okuno. Now Cancella. Mator. Dejan rather. Cancella. Ralbaena. When the captain forced backwards to Helio. Cerezo will try and keep them back in their own half now they've moved the ball backwards. Roberto down the line but out of play. Was a good ball, was there a little nick on the back of Taggart, looked to be bursting through. Again, he's claiming he's had his ankles clipped just as he got towards the edge of the penalty area. The Qatari referee again saw nothing untoward. Seven of the Kitchee squad were away with Hong Kong playing in Asian qualifiers. They've been away for quite some time. They had to link back up with the squad prior to this tournament. Haven't played a competitive fixture before their opening game since the final game of the season when they beat Eastern to clinch the title. Kiyotake. When he was asked in the pre-match press conference, the Kitchee coach Alex Chi-Kwong, he said he was worried about the pace of Osaka's wingers, who are very quick and have a tendency to get balls into the box, and that's possibly the thinking he's dropped Roberto back into right back today. Cancella's a very competent left back. Sakamoto. Flicked by Taggart, no one in pink close enough to him. Thiago, just a slight miscontrol. Ayumu. Harakawa. Good running from Marahashi again, but he's just offside. Shows how high your wingers or your fullbacks are playing when they're caught offside. Marahashi is a left back. Stayed in play, might get a second chance to cross Clayton. Did well though. Marahashi back on defensive duties. Roberto's throw. Clayton wins the corner. First time we're really seeing Kitchee with a little bit of spell of pressure, a little bit of spell of possession. They allowed Cerezo Osaka the ball quite a lot in the first quarter of the game, but as the game's worn on, they've had more of the possession, and they're maybe starting to threaten Jin Hyun's goal a little. Clayton again will take the corner. Away by Ayumu. Foot up from Hwang. He's going to get a yellow card for the foul on Kiyotake. Captain to captain. Kiyotake just dipping into that one. Oh, he's kicked him a painful one on the arm. I'm not too sure he knew he was there, Hwang. Kiyotake was the man who'd stayed forward. He'll miss the next match. Hwang Yang, having been booked in the first game, did play in Hong Kong's 3 qualifiers recently against Iran, Iraq and the Lebanon. Here's Thiago. Half an hour gone, just the 2 shots on goal so far, both coming from Cerezo Osaka. Both of them off target. Good defending by Law. Marahashi's throw. Kiyotake. Ayumu. Riku. Good footwork from Sakamoto to skip away from the challenge. Played back by Taggart to Harakawa. Nice inter-passing, nice crisp one-touch passing from Cerezo Osaka. Riku. Thiago. Harakawa. Yumu comes into play. Spin away from Motohiko, buys himself a little bit of space. Still going Motohiko. Law put an important foot in there because that would have been through for Motohiko. Dejan back on defensive duty and wins the free kick. That's quite a frantic spell of play there for the last couple of minutes. Dejan having to go deep back into his own half to win the ball back. Levi Colby taking the more relaxed approach. His opposite number is still shouting out his instructions, trying to get Kitchee into this game a little bit more. Riku. Sakamoto. Riku. Kiyotake. Sakamoto, patient build-up once again, away from the challenge of Ralbaena. Matt Orr. Cancella. Did well there, Cancella, kept the ball in play. Dejan will put Thiago under pressure, but he comfortably guides it back to his goalkeeper. Made their AFC Champions League debut back in 2011. Cerezo Osaka. They actually beat their city rivals Gamba Osaka in the round of 16 that year before going out to Jumbo Koyunde. Two high-scoring games as well against the Koreans. They won the first one 4-3. They lost the second one 6-1, 5-9 or 9-5. They lost on aggregate, the Japanese. We've got a corner here. No official drinks break because the temperature is just below 30 degrees, but as you can see with that collection of water bottles behind the goal, the players keen to take on refreshment whenever they can in this searing heat. It is around about 28, 29 degrees. Humidity up around 70–75%. Energy sapping. Referees spotted some pushing, as the referees always do from set pieces these days. Harakawa with a corner. Another good punch by Paolo. Didn't quite as much distance on that one, but enough to take it away from the danger area. Paulo Cesar. Daniel Cancella with the throw. Another player born in Spain but now has a Hong Kong passport. Not happy that he was only able to clear that one straight out of play. Is Riku. Now Thiago. Okuno. Marahashi. Took a deflection. Park will just prevent the corner, but only at the expense of a throw. Taggart. Too quickly around him. Roberto again gets the ball clear. It's not really a sense of what you call desperation in Kitchee trying to get the ball clear, but they're just happy to get it away from danger. They're not trying to play out from the back when the Japanese players are trying to press them back. So often you can be caught out these days. So many teams like to play out from the back. They're just happy to get the ball away from the danger area at the moment. Does keep coming back at them a little. There's another throw given away by Law. Throw from Marahashi. Thiago. Riku. Sakamoto. Great ball. Riku! Right the way across goal. Taggart was closing in on that, but couldn't get a touch. It's a lovely ball to pick out the run of Riku, who stayed on side and fired across goal. I'm sure he was going for that bottom corner. I don't think it was a cross. Beautifully picked out. Well, maybe he did try and side foot it for Taggart. It sort of bisected the post and the player right in between the two. Lovely ball over the top for Riku. Thiago applause. Because they're playing so high up the field at the moment, Thiago is virtually playing as what you'd perhaps call an old-fashioned sweeper. Back on defensive duties now, though. That's better. Into Dejan! He's a record breaker! Dejan Damjanovic, the all-time AFC Champions League top scorer. 38 goals to his name, and he passes the record set by Lee Dong-gook. 38 goals in 69 matches. He's broken the record in 5 fewer games, and he goes down in Champions League history. The man from Montenegro who scored in the first game has scored in the second game, and a new record has been set at 38, and he's still got plenty more goals in him as well. It's a good ball played down the line, and a tidy, accomplished finish. What we've come to know from Dejan over the years in this competition, he scored goals for 4 different teams. Moved to Kitchee because he wanted a new challenge, and he continues to score the goals. Brilliantly picked out by Clayton, and brilliantly finished by Dejan Damjanovic. Well, for all the possession that Cerezo have had, and there's a chance here. This is Mator through on goal. It's Mator to make it 2. He just wanted one too many touches. He's claiming a penalty, but the Qatari referee is not interested. We'll be interested to have a look at that one again. So at one point, Kitchee had only had 20% of the ball. They have increased their possession over the last 15-20 minutes or so, but they've still been very much against the run of play. It's their first shot on goal. It's their first shot on target, and it's given them the lead. But they could have had a second there. Mator, brilliant run. Just maybe should have had the confidence to shoot a little bit earlier with the 2 defenders converging on him. Okuno. Well defended, Helio. Another Brazilian with a Hong Kong passport, Helio Jose de Souza Goncalves. Or Goncalves, should I say. 7 minutes to go to half-time, the goal. And a moment that he will remember for a long, long time. Moment to savour. Driven in by Harikawa. Record tumble in the Champions League. Of course, we could see another Asian player lose a record at international level over the next day or so. Ali Dai from Iran, whose 109 goals was equalled by Cristiano Ronaldo. Portugal still in the Euro 2020 Championship, of course. Great ball across, bouncing awkwardly. Yeah, Ali Dai's record could go. This is a record, of course, that will always stay in Asia. Although it may not be now an Asian player that has broken the record. And Paolo scrabbling for that one. It just bounced and spun wide. So Kitchee, don't forget, have beaten Japanese opposition once before. It's the only time the Japanese side has lost to a Hong Kong side. Paolo's going to get a yellow card for time wasting. I think he just slipped as he was about to take the goal kick. Kitchee beat Cerezo back in March 2018 by a single goal. 3 players booked in the first half: Akuno, Hwang and now Paolo. 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. Levi Culpe will be furious that his side have conceded after dominating. Another long ball over the top. Jin Hyun has come a long way out of his goal. Pushes it out wide. Clayton on the chase. Park. Hwang. Nicely taken on the chest by Orr, but it just ran away from him slightly. Allowed Thiago to get possession back. Well, Baena trying to keep Cerezo pegged back in their own half. Another good ball into Taggart. Just spun away from him slightly, though. Hammered away by the captain, Hwang Yang. Well, it's been a good game. It's got better as the game's gone on. Cerezo now will have to come out and attack Kitchee either for the last couple of minutes here or in the second half. It'll just open up a little. But you can't give Dejan Damjanovic an inch. Sakamoto. Okuno. Still stroking the ball around confidently, Cerezo. They'll be patient. They know there's plenty of time to go, but just look how many white shirts are back behind the ball. It's so difficult to find any space, any gaps. It really needs a bit of quality. Marahashi with the ball in. Diving header from Park. Now the break zone again for Clayton, man who made the goal. Bundled off the ball by Harakawa. That's clever, Clayton. Knew there wasn't much ahead of him, just held the ball up. Turned away, new players were coming back, just drew the foul really from Harakawa. He'll be a happy man. Alex Chuchi Kwong. Long way to go, of course, but if Kitchee could pick up another 3 points, it's a massive step towards them going through to the knockout stages. Two minutes added time then at the end of the first half. We'll just get through to half-time. It's the order of the day now, you would feel, for Kitchee. Chance to take a breather. So conditions will play a part in the second half. There'll be some tired legs around there as the second half goes on. And they'll want to make sure that they don't make any individual errors. It'll be a question of how clever the substitutions are. Good save. Jin Hyun with a good save, pair of hands. It was Matt Orr again who had that break a moment or so ago. Did manage to get the shot away this time. It was a good save. For the fact they've lagged behind in possession and had fewer shots, Kitchee have had more shots on target than their opponents. Two shots, two on target now. Cerezo have yet to hit the target. Here's Sakamoto. Nice ball over the top. Maybe they can get something here. Kiyotake. Oh, arriving was Harakawa and side-footed into the arms of Paolo, who didn't have to move very far to get that one as the half-time whistle goes. Paolo making the final save of the first half. Jin Hyun made a save at the other end a moment or so ago from Matt Orr. But it's all about Dejan Damjanovic, who has 38 goals, the all-time AFC Champions League record goal scorer now. Cerezo, Osaka were on the top for much of that game, but they couldn't find a way through. And Kitchee taking their opportunity 7 minutes before half-time to go into the lead. Half-time, it's Cerezo, Osaka 0. Kitchee 1. Welcome back to the Thunder Castle, home of Buriram United, Breath of Buriram, as you can see, the slogan on top of the stand there. Kitchee have an early lead, or a lead here at half-time, thanks to Dejan Damjanovic's 38th AFC Champions League goal, which sees him set a new record. Cerezo, Osaka pretty much dominated that first half in terms of possession. 56%, but it is the team from Hong Kong that have taken the lead, looking for a second successive win in the AFC Champions League group stage. Doesn't look to be any changes to either team at half-time. It will be Kitchee, all in white, to get us underway. 45 minutes away from going 3 points clear at the top of Group J. I've got back-to-back games against Guangzhou to come in 3 days' time, and then on the 3rd of July. Mentioned that only the top team in each group is guaranteed a place in the next stage of the competition. 3 of the best 5 second-place teams go through. And just to give you a yardstick, if you like, to that, from the Western section, the teams that advanced to the round of 16. Al Wada had 13 points, Tractor and Al Hilal qualified with 10 points. So if Kitchee win today, they would be well on the way to what could be a total, should they not finish top of the group. But of course, if they win 2 in a row, then they won't be content with second place. They'll be looking to close out top spot, you would feel. That's the kind of thing that teams are looking at, and of course it goes to the other teams in the group as well, even if you can't finish top. Cerezo made a positive start to the second half, though. Another heavy challenge. It's gone out for a goal kick. It was Okuno that was just challenged as he played that one across. Three yellow cards in that first half as well. Paolo, the goalkeeper, for time wasting, and Huang for Kitchee. Okuno was booked early on for Cerezo Osaka. Coach emphasised, well, both coaches really have been emphasising how important recovery is. Now Baena. It's a heavy challenge on Thiago. No foul. It's a 50-50. They both went for it together. One of those awkward ones. It was just 3 days between games, so sports scientists called into action. Make sure the players stay as fresh as they can. There was just the one change in the 2 starting lineups today. It was Motohiko coming in for Cerezo Osaka. Just wonder whether the thinking in terms of the starting 11s will change in the next match, having played 2 games in 4 days in very hot, stifling conditions here in Thailand. Composed by Thiago. There's Riku. Now Harakawa. Firmly hit to Marahashi. Got forward plenty of times in that first half, Marahashi from fullback. There's always the danger, of course, he leaves a little bit of space. You can just see Ayumi coming across. Shot from a long way out, goes wide of the target from Okuno. Have to be something a bit special to beat the goalkeeper from there. He went flying across Paolo. We'll see how far it was. Well, it was well wide, a couple of metres wide in the end. Struck well by Akuno, just off target. Back by Park. Clayton just stumbled and lost out to Harakawa. Here comes Cerezo again. It's the referee. It'll be a drop ball. Punched away by Paolo. It was Marahashi's ball in. He seemed to fairly straightforward to catch that from Paolo, but he got good distance on, and they've won the foul. It's Kiyotake with the foul on Clayton. Both teams can make 5 substitutions, to remind you. That 2-0 win for Kitchee in their first game is the first time they've scored more than once in an AFC Champions League game. Previous win was a single-goal victory over Kashiwa Reysol. Another goal here would put them very much in control and really mean Cerezo have got to come out and attack them. Cerezo didn't come here in the best of form on a 6-game winless run, rather. So just the 1 win in 10 back in mid-April. Had trouble goal scoring themselves in the league as well. They've only scored more than twice on one occasion. That was against Yokohama back in March. Did get 2, of course, in their opening win here against Guangzhou. Thiago's header. Clayton. No foul this time under the challenge from Harakawa, but he does win the throw. Clayton just trod on the ball and hands possession back to Cerezo, and a clumsy foul. Not the first time the 2 number 10s have locked horns. Free kick in the favour of the Cerezo captain, Kiyotake, that time. Here's Akuno. Now Ayumi. Marahashi. Taggart. Slipped down the line. Taggart racing to get into the middle. Just to come off the top of the post. I'm sure it was aimed as a cross. Taggart, who just played the ball out wide, it was floated in by Sakamoto. It's just come off the face of the bar. Roberto competes the clearance. Didn't manage to prevent it going for a corner, though. Early pressure at the start of the second half. Now Marahashi with the corner. Thiago forward for this, who scored from a set piece in the first match into the near post. He's well defended. by Dejan. Goal scorer back on defensive duty. Riku. Trying to look from a long way out. Challenge just on the edge of the penalty area. Still, it's not cleared. It's Motohiko trying to curl it goalwards. Blocked away. Well, there was another challenge. Big appeals for a penalty from Cerezo, which has not been given. We don't have VAR in the group stages, of course. That will be added later on in the tournament, but referee seemed to be well placed. Motohiko, good spell of pressure this. Kiyotake. Riku. Harakawa. Driven in again with pace, away by Helio. Dejan with a slightly heavy touch, allows Ayumu to clear it up and find Marahashi. Away by Roberto. Dejan just trying to guide that one onto the path of law. Head tennis going on at the moment. Raul Baena. All. Raul Baena, they've just weathered that little bit of a storm. Kitchee. They'll win the throw. Wonder when he starts to shuffle his pack, Levi Kulpi. Levi Kulpi, rather. Or on the chase, Thiago will just allow that to run out of play.
Hey, I'm not delaying anything, but don't tell me fast.
Away by Thiago. Tussle going on with Helio and with Sakamoto. Sakamoto's found himself a bit of space. Taggart, back to Sakamoto. Back towards Taggart again, but Law was back. Good covering. Riku. Okuno. Sakamoto, 4 in the centre. Another good challenge, away by Huang. Cancella. Clumsy challenge by Riku to give away the free kick. There's Akuno with a foul on Cancella. Give away the free kick. It's Kitchee that are first to show in terms of substitutions. Tong Kin Man, who came on with 18 minutes to go against Port, is being prepared, the 36-year-old, bringing a little bit of experience into the side. Mentioned earlier that win for Kitchee against Kashiwa Reysol back in 2018. They lost their other 5 games to finish bottom of the table. This would be a massive boost if they could hold on and get the 3 points here. It's Law that's coming off. And Tong, the player that's coming on. Played a couple of friendlies recently for Hong Kong, played 90 minutes against Iran, came on against Bahrain. There's Marahashi. Marahashi forward again. A foul by Motohiko. Roberto feeling the challenge. That's it. With no spectators in the stadium, you can hear the screams of the players a lot more when they go down injured. Haven't seen him test his prowess from free kicks yet, Motohiko. Kitchee have been fairly disciplined. They haven't given anything away within his shooting range. Just away from Dejan. Cerezo have continued to enjoy more of the ball in the second half. Good ball stood up, good jump by Motohiko. No pace on the header though, comfortable for Paolo. Just wonder, it's only a matter of time before Cerezo start having serious attempts on goal. Needed a little bit more pace to fully test the goalkeeper. Good ball over the top. Matt Orr had a couple of chances in the first half. One shot save, one where he didn't manage to get a shot away despite being, or seemingly, in the clear. Donkey to try and get that in for Dejan, away by Harakawa. Helio's header straight out of play. As we mentioned earlier, it is the reverse fixtures next, so it'll be Guangzhou twice in a row for Kitchee, while Cerezo Osaka will play Port FC, who picked up their first victory earlier on today against Guangzhou. Guangzhou, bottom of the table with 2 defeats in 2 at the moment. Thiago. He's going to have a go here. Thiago, good save. Pushed back into play by the keeper, and he was just out of reach of Motohiko. You might feel he's got away with that one a little. Paolo was hit with great venom from Thiago. There's Murahashi. A bit of confidence running through Cerezo Osaka at the moment. Kiyotake. Footing was by Tong. Still pressing forward, and in the end it goes out for a goal kick. Well, Thiago's strike was hit with real force. Paolo pushed it back into play. Fortunately, no one following in. Sure, the goalkeeping coaches would tell you to push that to the side if you can, but I think he was just keen to keep the ball out. Would have needed something really special to beat the keeper from there. Well, Motohiko is the player going off, so we won't get to see any super free kicks today. And it's Yoshito Okubo, 39-year-old, who came on in the first match, made himself busy in the forward line, looked a real handful, and he's on now to try and get Cerezo Osaka back in the match. Foul on the substitute. Cuba made his debut for Cerezo Osaka back in 2001. It's a career that's just entered its 21st year. Had a couple of spells in Europe with Mallorca and with Wolfsburg. Here's again Kubo. Referee just allowing a couple of challenges to go there. Thiago. Sakamoto. Riku. Good block by Orr. And the midfielders, the likes of Orr and Clayton and Tonga, getting up and down. It's very difficult in these hot conditions as well. The temperature just in the high 20s at the moment. So it was mid-30s earlier on for the game that kicked off at 5 o'clock local time. Thiago had that shot a moment or so ago that was saved by Paulo. Driven across it towards Taggart, it's bobbling around and it's gone for a goal kick. Well, they can't find any luck in the penalty area at the moment. It was driven across, it only needed a touch. Again, coaches will tell you, just strike it hard and low. Could go anywhere. Very nearly reached Taggart. It was a footing from Hwang. And it ended up going out off Sakamoto. Another 4 matches for you tomorrow in Groups H and Group G. The games come thick and fast. First up, Ratchaburi FC against Nagoya Grampus, and then Pohang Steelers against Johor Darul Tazim. Group G already playing their 3rd games in the competition. And then in Group H, it'll be Chiang Rai United against Tampinas Rovers from Singapore. And Gamba Osaka, Cerezo City rivals against Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors in tomorrow's games. Here's another change for Kitchee. Matt Orr has gone off, having given his all over on that far side up and down the line. And it's Shinichi Yat who comes on for the 2nd consecutive match. His side leading by a goal to nil. Dejan Damjanovic's record-breaking goal coming 6 minutes before half-time. Foul on Sakamoto. Ayumu. Stepped in towards Okubo. Might still fall for Okubo. 2 defenders between them, managed to get the ball away. Baena slicing that one out of play for a throw. Marahashi. The ball's hit the referee again. That's the 2nd time it's hit Kamisal Mari. So it will be a drop ball under the rules that were introduced last season. Uncontested drop balls these days. I used to enjoy a good drop ball scuffle. Not anymore, though. Jin Hyun's a long way out of his goal here. It was Yat, the substitute, that was just pressing him. He's gone into that position that Matt Orr had occupied on the far side. He will have to do some work because Orr was up and down that far touchline all game. Jin Hyun with a good feet. Now, goalkeepers have to be footballers these days. Gone are the days of just picking the ball up and booting it downfield. You have to have some skills on the ground as well, especially now that you don't have to kick the ball outside the penalty area from goal kicks. We often see a lot of teams playing out from the back. That's a lovely ball, looking for another cross into the centre, headed away by Park. Cerezo still dominate the ball. Another angle ball into Marahashi. First time side foot across, came off the Kitchee defender. Baena. Clayton. Bit of space here for Yat to move into. Dejan goes outside him, acts as a decoy. Yat with a shot. Ball was rising up over the top, gets a glare from Dejan Damjanovic. He's hungry for more goals, having broken the record. .502 passes to 167. Yet Cerezo trail by a goal to nil. Who said football isn't a funny game? Kiyotake. It's not over yet. Into the final quarter now. 2 shots on goal, 1 on target for Kitchee. Quite incredible. That's good play again by Sakamoto. Pushed away by Paolo! And this time bundled over the line by Adam Taggart. And the equaliser has come. The pressure has finally told. And Kitchee, trying to soak up that Cerezo Osaka pressure, have finally succumbed. Nothing Paolo could do on that occasion. And Adam Taggart gets his first goal for Cerezo Osaka, and a vital one it is as well to draw them level at 1-1. Great work down that far side from Sakamoto, driven across. Paolo again pushed the ball back into play. This time there was a man arriving. It was Adam Taggart, and he's not missing from there. Cerezo in a rush now to get on with things. They think they can go on and win this. Credit to Sakamoto for his wide play in this second half. A couple of times he's delivered a really good ball, and finally they have a reward. Adam Taggart, formerly of Newcastle Jets, Perth Glory in the A-League, went to Fulham in the UK but didn't play. Played for Dundee United and then back to Brisbane Roar. He's been a much travelled. Here he is again. Cerezo pressing again. Okuno. Good block. Kiyotake. Thiago once again. Oh, it's gone in. Well, he hit one about 10 minutes ago that was pushed back into play by Paolo. It's an identical shot, but this time the goalkeeper can only help it into the net. And Thiago has his second goal of the tournament, 2 in 2. And Cerezo Osaka have 2 goals in 2 minutes. And all of a sudden, this game has turned on its head. Well, the big Brazilian, again, who joined at the start of the 2021 season, only played 6 games in the league, did score. Got that goal that went in off the underside of the bar, but it's a nightmare for Paolo in goal. It is an identical shot to the one he had moments ago. Never left the ground. And the sheer pace on the ball has taken it in. Bit of bend on it as well. Wow. 2-1 Cerezo Osaka lead. As I said a moment or so ago, football's a funny game. Well, Kitchee will be distraught, having held the lead since the 39th minute. Taggart's gone down injured here and doesn't look particularly good body language-wise, the man who scored that first goal. Well, we've seen some great goals in this competition already. We're only in match day 2. The quality on show has been something to behold over the last 5 days or so. Paolo beaten twice in quick succession. Did score in the penultimate game before coming to the tournament. Thiago. Well, Taggart has gone off, and maybe that he's not fit for the next game. His body language didn't look particularly good. Now Kitchee find themselves having to come from behind, having led for such a long time. It was Hirotaki Tomeda who's come on for Taggart. That's him just being fouled. Again, another player that came on in the opening game. He came on at half-time, Tomeda, in the opening match against Guangzhou. Harakawa. Just over a quarter of an hour to go. Riku. Harakawa. There's a Kubo that's gone down clutching his shin. No foul. I think Kitchee will they put the ball out of play? It doesn't appear they're going to. Kwang coming forward. Kubo now getting back to his feet. Harakawa. Kiyotake. Riku. Kiyotake. Good ball slipped into Okuno. This is good from Cerezo. They've really found their passing range in the second half. Okuno forced into the corner. Well, Alex Chi Kwong, the Kitchee coach, will be bitterly disappointed having taken the lead, albeit against the run of play, to someone who hadn't seen the match. If you look at the statistics, you'd go, well, of course Cerezo Osaka should win. But it doesn't work like that. And they'll be disappointed to have conceded the goals. The goalkeeper at fault for the second, but, well, don't take anything away from the pace on Thiago's shot. And he's forward again here, trying to make his aerial presence felt. Misses everybody. Comes to Thiago, wouldn't sit down for him. Put back in again. Goalkeeper makes that a clean take this time. It's a pat on the head from Okuno. What have Kitchee got left in them? If they can get the ball to Damjanovic, he hasn't had much. There he is now. He hasn't had much service in the second half. Raul Baena given away again. That's another foul. Kiyotake and Cancella. Well, Akubo's got a yellow card for his reaction. He went straight into the face of Cancella. I think Cancella will get a yellow card as well, but that's an unnecessary yellow from Akubo, who didn't need to react like that because the referee had already started to go to his pocket. It's a foul. It's not that bad a challenge. It is a foul. I haven't seen the yellow card given, but I'm sure Cancella was getting a yellow because the referee got his card in his hand and he turned and gave it to Akubo for his reaction. So I'm assuming two players booked there. We will confirm that, but certainly Akubo booked for a reaction. And well, his coach will be fuming because 2 yellow cards means a suspension for the next match. Obviously 2 yellow cards in different matches. And with this heat and humidity, you need all the players available that you can get. It is Cancella confirmed with a yellow card. Wasn't one of the players booked in the first game, so he's okay. He's on a yellow though now, walking the disciplinary tightrope, as they say, for the remainder of the group stage. Chase on here for Tong. Header from Mayumu. That could well be. I was going to say it might be another yellow card because Tomeda just put his arm across in the face of Huang. Nothing more than a free kick though. Just blocked him off, knew what he was doing. Be interesting to know what Olivier Colpi said to his team at half-time, because they didn't play badly in that first half, apart from not really creating too many chances. That's something they have seemed to put right in this second half. They've a couple of shots from distance. They've got the wide men into play, particularly Sakamoto, who has been excellent down that far side. Saw a couple of crosses fizzed into the box. Confirmation of Akubu's yellow card as well for the reaction to Cancella's foul. Here's Roberto. Kitchee will make another change in just a moment. I think that's Ho Chun Ting that's waiting to come on down below. Marahashi. Okuno. Cerezo now, you feel, would probably just want to take the sting out of the game. 2 goals in 2 minutes have turned the scoreline around. Adam Taggart and Thiago with a pile driver from distance. So Ayumu, Marahashi, Kubo. This is what Cerezo were good at, very good at keeping the ball. They'll just grind down the opposition. Riku, third goal, of course, would probably kill off the game completely, but Kitchee can get hold of the ball. They do have goal scorers if they can get some service to Dejan. Although Dejan is down injured at the moment, so maybe his game is over. They're about to make the substitution, I think, and they're making a double change. That's a triple change. Roberto's going off. Sebastian Buddle comes on. Dejan is coming off and Hwang's coming off. Alex Akande is coming on. Ho Chun Ting on as well. And as we mentioned, Sebastian Buddle. Just 4 games in the Hong Kong League this season. And that's 4 changes made by Kitchee now. Just the 2 so far made by Cerezo Osaka. So 3 days to recover before these sides will go again. Reminder, it's Port FC for Cerezo Osaka and Guangzhou for Kitchee. There's 5 changes, in fact, for Kitchee now. Alex Akande, the 5th change for them, the man born in Lagos. Has had a bit of a back problem, but fit to come off the bench. This is Yat. We need to get the ball forward inside the final 7 minutes. Well, that looked like a handball, was it? It's a close one, bounced up off Riku. I'll be interested to see that one again, whether the ball just actually came off his forearm. It is the T-shirt line, of course, is the line for handball these days. That seemed to strike him on the arm. I could be wrong, but it was very nonchalant the way he went about it, Riku. There's no great appeals from Kitchee. Neck's just getting in the way of his teammate. Bayena. Yat. Cancella. Cross took a deflection behind for the corner. So a chance from a set piece here for Kitchee to try and put some pressure on. They'll get Helio and Park forward. Alex Akande is a big physical presence in there as well. How the whole complexion of a game can change in just 2 minutes. Well, 5 players looking to come from deep here. Clayton just gives the ball a bit of a kiss for luck. Needs to keep this away from the goalkeeper. He managed to keep it away from the goalkeeper. Park was in there. Still not cleared. Buddle. Thiago's header away. Now Kiyotake loses possession. Bayena hits it and over hits it and out for a goal kick. Thiago may have just taken a knock on the side of the head when that ball came back into the penalty area. Kubu was coming back from an offside position, so it will be a free kick to Kitchee. Bayena. That's it behind Akande, read well by Thiago. Bayena just bemoaning the movements, I think, of his striker. He's saying there was nothing wrong with the ball. Sakamoto. See a club from Korea tomorrow, of course, see if they can continue that record. Pohang Steelers against Johor Darul Tazim from Malaysia. One of 4 matches for you tomorrow in this competition. Bit of a sore one there for Tomeda. Sakamoto. Thiago. Ayumu. Tomeda trying to turn, but better marking that time. Harakawa. Sakamoto. Tomeda. Maybe thought about running the ball into the corner. Still 2 minutes to go of the 90. And Kitchee throw.
There you go, there you go.
Final change about to be made by Cerezo Osaka. Another experienced player coming on, the 33-year-old Naoki Fujita. Defender, just adding an extra body back there for the final couple of minutes. Here's Clayton. Kande. It's a bit of a heavy touch. Thiago's header again. Not only has he scored potentially the winning goal at the moment, but he's been immense at the back today, Thiago, once again. Tong with the throw. Kande. Clayton. Buddle. He went for the flick instead of something a bit more positive. It's gone all the way back to Helio. Cancella. Nice little nutmeg. Hit with pace into the feet of Ho. Oh, he's tried to find a Kande, but it's ended up being too far ahead of him. So Fujita comes on to replace the captain, Kiyotake. He will give the armband to Marahashi. And Fujita will come on for the final couple of minutes, or however long stoppage time we have. Four minutes. Fashion another couple of chances, I wonder, Kitchee. They're forced all the way back here to Paolo. They'll have to build from the back. He's going to look long this time. Launched up towards a Kande. And got the look of the bounce with a header. Well, goalkeeper just hesitated slightly. Marahashi was in control of the situation. Good take by the goalkeeper. Very nearly carried it over the line for a corner. That would have been a few nervy moments had they got a set piece, but Jin Hyun-woo hasn't had too much to do apart from picking the ball out of the net after Dejan's goal. Makes the save. Blocked by Fujita. That'll be a free kick. And a chance to launch this one forward. 90 seconds of added time to go. Everybody forward for this bar goalkeeper and free kick taker. I'm surprised they're not letting the goalkeeper take the free kick, Paolo, to be fair. Get an extra body in there. It really is all or nothing now for Kitchee. Clayton with the free kick. Oh, it's missed everybody. Well, claiming a corner more in hope than anything else, Kitchee, but it has gone behind for a goal kick. I'll be disappointed. It's gone out of play from the goal kick. So there might be one more chance maybe for Kitchee just to launch this. They're going to have to launch it as well. We're into the final 20 seconds. Just have to get this ball into the box. Looking for the run of hope. That's a corner conceded by Thiago. They'll have to be quick here, Kitchee. This surely will be the last action of the match now. Can they grab a late equaliser? Well, taking it short. Back to Clayton. Floated in again. Thiago's there with another header. It's an immense performance by the number 6. The winning goal and that final clearing header just about summed up his afternoon. Lever Kulpi's side have come from behind here to take the points. It was a record-breaking goal from Dejan Damjanovic that put Kitchee in the front in the first half. He's 39th, overtaking the record. He's now the all-time leading scorer in the AFC Champions League. But the game was turned on its head with 2 goals in 2 minutes. Adam Taggart and then Thiago's long-range effort just helped into the net by Paulo, the goalkeeper. And it is Cerezo, Osaka that register their 2nd win in 2 games. They go 6 points at the top of the table. Port FC and Kitchee are level on 3 with Guangzhou down at the bottom on 0. It's a great game. It's the Japanese that have taken the points. It's finished Cerezo Osaka 2, Kitchee FC 1.